Recently, I made a video on the difference between being and doing and how to do more and be less. And today, I'd like to talk about the inverse of that and why that is even more important. And it actually drives you to do more. When you're talking about being, we're talking about life's purpose, why you're here. When we're talking about doing, we're talking about achievement, the accomplishing of the purpose. Doing is about achievement, while being is about fulfillment. If you think of us being icebergs, below the water, our values, our beliefs, our assumptions, our worldview based on everything we've experienced and learned, all of that is below the surface. When we're talking about doing, we're talking about accomplishing, reacting to things, what our face does, what our behavior does, the language that we use to speak, how we're driven by success. It actually answers the how. Whereas below the surface is where we're self-aware and insightful, and where we understand if the values that we have are aligned to what we are doing in our life. It's where we're not afraid to take risks and fail. It's where we question things and we're subconsciously really thinking about the answers to the why. That's the being. Whereas doing is very much focused on internal goals. Sometimes we focus on the past or the future, which leads to depression in the past or anxiety if we're thinking about the future. We evaluate a lot. Feelings are either good feelings, bad feelings, things that happen are either good or bad. We're constantly evaluating instead of allowing it to just be and realizing that we are actually putting a judgment on that. All of that is the doing mode. The being mode is not attached to a goal. It's accepting and allowing of what is. No pressure. There's only focus on the present moment. And you realize when you're in the being mode that feelings are like waves in the ocean. They come and they go. They're temporary. They just serve to bring awareness to you. They're road signs, if you will. That's the difference. And while I talked in the last video about how it's important to do instead of being, which is sometimes a story we tell ourselves, we are this, we are that. The type of being we're talking about here is honestly being authentically who you are, living in that space and being really good with it. That's why it's so important to just be instead of do, and to replenish and rejuvenate who you are. It's important to talk about both sides of the coin. I hope that makes sense.